We're going to play the headline game. And no fancy graphics, just a bunch of me yapping at you. What we're going to do is I'm going to give you 5 stories. I'm going to tell you 5 stories, including a headline and a quick summary of what happened. And then you and Ken are going to each take a gander at if that story that I told you is real or fake. And whoever can guess more correct wins.
Oh, that's fun.
And as Ken has mentioned, I don't get paid, so there is no tiebreaker because I don't do that much work. And because I can only fit 5 of these in during my lunch break when I write them. So
there we go.
So is that a clue that there are 5 that are fictional?
No, there's just 5. I write. Here's the thing. I write the stories no matter what.
Yeah.
But whether or not they are real or fake is what you guys have to determine. Right.
Got
so
you.
like the headlines and the story, but like whether or not these things actually happened is the see, and I don't try to trick you. So good catch.
Yeah. Here, Cade. Here's the flex from Steve. He was a journalism major in college, so he loves writing news copy. So all the words are his, but it's whether or not the story is based on reality or not. He's going to read them, and don't register your vote right away, Cade. Kind of keep in your head. We're going to come back to them and vote. All right.
Exactly.
Okay. Got you.
Let's do this.
All right. So we'll do a reaction first, then we'll vote at the end. All right. Here we go. So story number 1. Are we ready?
Ready.
Coal is cute. The U.S. Department of the Interior introduced its newest ambassador for the American Energy Dominance Agenda, an AI-generated cartoon hunk of coal named, wait for it, Coley, featuring anime-style eyes, a yellow mining hat, and cute little work boots. Coley's goalie is to revamp the image of the coal industry.
My cousin's name is Coley.
There you go. Okay. So we'll come back to that, and he'll remind us. Okay, that's number 1. That's story 1. Okay.
Story number 2. An expensive stretch. A group of protesters were demonstrating outside the Dallas Chevron offices when 2 activists joined others in planting themselves to the building's doors. What they failed to realize was the door they had chosen was actually a side employee entrance to the Pilates and yoga studio occupying the space in the first floor of the same building. They were transported along with the doors they glued themselves to Parkland Health and Medical Center.
Oh, shit. So they kind of got their own Pilates session in.
They did. Okay. All right.
Story number 3. A greasy and possible mission. A California man was arrested after being caught wedged for 2 days in a grease vent inside a vacant Chinese restaurant. The man was suspended over the deep fryer and eventually managed to reach his phone and call 911, saying he, quote, just wanted to go home. Firefighters spent hours dismantling the roof and the vents to extract the man, who was covered in 2 years of kitchen grease.
Oof. I hope that's fake for his sake.
Wait, I'm sorry. Can you say the first tagline of that one again?
Sure. A greasy and possible mission. A man was arrested after being caught wedged for 2 days in a grease vent inside a vacant Chinese restaurant.
Okay, got you. Thank you.
Okay.
Of course.
I thought that was a Ken story for a second.
Might have been. Because you know why? Because I don't want to order on a goddamn app.
Right. You'd rather get stuck in the vents.
Alrighty, here is the 4th story. Okay. Literal speed traps. In a controversial move to slow down traffic nearby school zones, a Nebraska City Council has approved the use of high-definition 3D decals that look like massive potholes. The, quote, pavement art is designed to be cost-effective alternative to concrete speed bumps. Critics argue the decals lose their effectiveness after a short period of time and could unintentionally promote dangerous, evasive moves to avoid the fake potholes.
Wow.
That's genius.
Yeah. Should be real. Okay. Last one.
Okay. And our last story. A murder of drones. A DC man had his Thai food dinner ruined after the delivery robot tasked with bringing his meal was detoured to avoid a sidewalk obstruction and fell over on its side. It was shortly discovered by a group of hungry crows, and onboard cameras captured the group of birds pecking away at the robot from the Serve Technologies company. They said the unit had malfunctioned and opened its hatch unexpectedly after falling over. The opportunistic crows feasted on the unfortunate man's pad thai and mango sticky rice, while several passerbys ignored or took pictures of their own.
Now that sounds like a quarter life crisis right there.
Hey, all right. Okay. So, Cade, that's what we got. The 5 stories. Steve is
Those
gonna.
were amazing.
It's good work from Steve, right? That journalism major finally coming into use. There we go. Steve's gonna recap, and we're gonna register our vote.
That debt is good for something. Okay, here is story number 1. Coal is cute. Did our tax dollars really pay for the United States Department of Interior to have ChatGPT generate a anime cartoon of a piece of coal to tell us that coal is good? Ken, why don't you go first?
This sounds good. This sounds plausible. I don't like to kind of recount whether or not I've seen the story for real. I just think at some point this would have been heralded on Fox News or derided on some of the other news networks. I think it's plausible, but I'm going false. This is a fake story.
Cade?
You know, what I like to do to wind down at the end of the night is I play a little Fortnite and I watch a little Jimmy Kimmel Live. And it's not often I remember what he says in those monologues. But one time he mentioned my cousin's name, Coley. And it's true because this is real.
Wow. Okay. Fake.
Well,
versus real.
Ken, it is tough to argue when someone has seen the story in the news. And Coley, I regret to inform you, was one hell of a use of our tax dollars. Coley is real. That is a true story.
God.
Let's go!
Oh my God. Has this been covered on Climate Town? Have they covered this on Climate Town?
Coley is coming to Fortnite. That's amazing.
Yeah, I need the Coley skin on Fortnite.
Coley is coming to Fortnite. That's what I want. I want Coley. I want former Surgeon General C. Everett Koop. I want those people in Fortnite. Okay. All right. I'm down.
Cade is out to an early lead.
I want a Ken skin in Fortnite. I would love to.
I'd love that. Ken. I'd love that. Love that. Okay.
That's how you know you made it. If you're a skin in Fortnite, that's one of those like I can sit back and relax.
Yeah.
Okay. Story number 2. An expensive stretch. This is the group of protesters who were protesting the Chevron offices in downtown Dallas, who planted themselves to the building doors, failing to realize that they actually planted themselves to the yoga studio doors next door, not the Chevron offices, and they and their doors were transported to the hospital.
All right. Who's going? Cade, you going first?
So because
Cade
I knew
goes
the
first
first
this time.
one was real, I think I had a little bit of a multiple choice quiz bias where you kind of try to alternate based on logic. This story sounds very real, but I am going to lock in false.
Lock in false.
Okay.
Going
with the gut.
I would understand the leaning towards false makes sense, but there's just something too funny. And, God bless these protesters if the cause is good, but like there's just something too funny about being wheeled away on doors to me. I'm saying real.
Ken says it is true. Cade says false. After 2 questions, we have a 2-0 lead. Cade, that is a false headline, and you are up 2-0.
Let's go!
All right. Well, we're gonna play it out, but I could lose this next round. This
could. Yeah,
we'll play it out.
You could lock in the win.
But yes, it's not looking good for you. Got to get some points here.
Yeah,
All right, here we go.
Shut out, idiot. All right. Number 3.
All right, the third story is our greasy and possible mission. This was the man who was wedged for 2 days in the grease vent inside of a vacant Chinese restaurant, and the firefighters had to dismantle the roof and vents and all sorts of stuff, and he called 911 saying he just wanted to go home. Ken, you go first.
Yeah. First of all, shout out to Boop for one of my favorite references of all time. What's the charge? Being suspended of a succulent Chinese meal. And rest in peace. Rest in peace to that guy who recently passed away. This is one of those things, man. 911 call. What's the problem? I'm stuck inside this Circle K I've broken into. Like, hey, I need to get out of here. Now, you could die from this. There's tragic stories of people being locked in freezers, employees fall behind vents, all these things. This had a happy ending in a way. I really do think this is real. I'm going with real here.
Cade?
This headline reminds me of the scene in my movie where I learn about 9/11 for the first time, because
Yes.
it's ultimately tragic and reminds you of your own mortality.
Yeah.
And the fragility of your human body. However, I think that this is false because I just think that, like, we would have seen this on Ken's Instagram story if this happened to him.
I would never laugh. The guy didn't die. He was rescued, right, Steve?
He was rescued.
Okay.
He was rescued.
Okay.
So final
All
answers, Ken is going true, Cade is going false.
Yep.
Okay. And with that, we have a game again. It is 2-1. Cade, you still have 2 points, but that is a true story. Ken is on the board. I saw the picture of this guy getting loaded into the stretcher. It looked like he was performing in blackface. Like, it was not a good, like, it was really bad. Like, it was really, like, he was, when they say he was covered in grease, it looked like a season 1 episode of It's Always Sunny. Like, it was not, it was not good.
He was looking like
remind me,
Coley.
I'll try to find that photo for Thursday.
By the way, I still stand by that episode. I think it's politically poignant. I think that episode. All right. Physics Joe would have defeated me by this point, but I'm on the board. It's 2-1. It's 2-1. Laserbolt says he looked like Coley. There we go.
I mean, he's not wrong.
Wait, so this person was stuck in there for 2 whole days before calling for
2 days.
help.
Yep.
Or before being discovered, or wow.
They apparently, because they were trying to. It was a vacant restaurant, so I think they were trying to steal kitchen equipment from the story that I read.
There you go.
And they got stuck.
Wow.
So yeah.
Okay.
That's impressive that their phone battery stayed alive that long.
Right. Okay. Story
Number 4. This is the literal speed traps. The Nebraska City Council approving the use of high definition 3D decals that look like potholes instead of speed bumps. It's being called safety pavement art to be a cost-effective alternative, and people are worried that you're going to swerve out of the way to avoid a sticker and hit a child walking to school.
Okay.
Cade, why don't you go first?
This headline reminds me of the scene in my movie where I try to rent a car, but I'm only 24, so I'm not allowed.
It's great.
And if I had only had a 3D sticker decal, I probably could have done it. Yeah. I think this is true. This is genius.
Okay. He's saying real. Saying real and true. Again, I don't recall seeing this in the news, but it could be local. I think this is a great idea. I think if it's not true, we should make it true. The Wile E. Coyote method of slowing down traffic and keeping people safe. I think it's good. I'm meeting Cade right at the real. I'm saying it's real. True.
Ooh, our first agreement.
Okay, you both went true, and producer Steve got both of you. That is a fake headline. The score remains at 2-1. So going into the last question, we will have the opportunity for a tie, or Cade can bury you.
Hey, wow,
bro, that is so, like, you really fooled me. Like, that is so believable.
Good. He's good, isn't he? He's good.
He's good.
Yeah. Okay.
Like a Looney Tunes writer.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
A little Roger Rabbit action there. Okay, there we go. Yes, so this is for a tie for me, a win for Cade. Question 5, or news story 5.
Last headline, a murder of drones. This was the DC man who ordered his pad thai, and the drone that it was being delivered on fell over. The drone, the crows discovered it and ate his pad thai and sticky rice, and people laughed and took pictures of him, and this poor guy didn't get his dinner.
All right, look, so, I don't know if I love the idea of these little robots delivering food. Cade, you've probably been out in Hollywood and seen this a lot, right? It's West Hollywood has a lot of them. Hollywood has a lot of them, these little robots with names. They have names on them. They have eyeballs, and they deliver food. And then there was what was that one that we sent that little robot around the world, like the robot of peace, and then it got to Philly, and everyone in Philly destroyed it.
And then he got murdered.
So you know, as much as I want humans to have these kind of jobs, I have empathy for these little robots strolling along. I believe this is true. I think this really happened.
Okay, Ken goes true. Cade?
Yeah, these things are my neighbors. They live on my street. See them rolling around all the time. But I personally would never use them because of this exact fear of mine of the, food never making it. Another good argument against the apps. Oh man, I originally put true, but after hearing the last two answers I put were wrong, I'm considering changing it. But I'm gonna just lock in my original answer as this is real.
Oh wow! Okay, so we're setting up a win here. This is a potential win here.
Potential win, and really locking in that score there. Both going true on the murder of drones, and the answer is producer Steve got you both back to back to end it. That is a false story, but Cade comes away with a W, squeaks by over
won?
Ken at 2-1. Cade wins 2-1 over Ken. I mean, I beat both of you in the last two questions because neither of you got it right.
Steve,
but you beat Ken 2-1 on guessing the headlines. Yes, you did.
Let's go! I
love that.
Take that, Ken.
It's a victory, but it's kind of like when a football team backs into the playoffs with 3 losses, but you're still in the playoffs. You still got the win. You still got the win.
2-1.
2-1.
That's the one where they throw the ball, right?
Yes, it is. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and then they kick it and they drop it and they do a lot of things there. All right, there it is. Cade wins. Good to have headlines back. Cade, for your victory. Before you get out of here, you get a 15-second soapbox. What do you want to say?
I don't get a prize. I just get to talk.
Your prize is the currency, the currency of attention.
Buddy, prizes are not in the budget.
I want my prize to be Ken starting a satire alt-right podcast. Okay. My 15-second soapbox. How much time do I have left?
It starts now.
Okay, cool. What's up, Blathering? If y'all love Ken Napzok, you'll love Quarter Life Crisis, my first feature comedy film I've ever made. Ken starred in it. He played an evil podcaster who basically tried to ruin my life. And you can watch it now at qlcmovie.com. You can rent it. There's a code just for Blathering listeners. Code Blathering for 25% off. Support indie cinema. Support RB3. Support Ken. Support me and my blue collar. I got my heart on my sleeve. I'm out here winning. Discerning between fake news and real news, and basically, I'd love to hear all of your reviews too. If you do end up watching the movie, we want to hear what you have to say, your honest reviews. And thank you guys so much for having me.
Absolutely. For the record, you went 52 seconds, so your win's invalidated. No, I'm kidding. No, great stuff. I hope we get to do a lot more in the future, Cade. You and RB3, and the entire crew, Parker, everyone there who is always in your work. It's so fun to work with you all. So we'll do it again. Everybody see the movie. Cade, thank you much for stopping by.